thank Senator Schmidt for that courtesy. At the outset, I want to recognize law enforcement who are here today, including those who defended the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and the family members of those who are no longer with us. Ken Sicknick, brother of fallen officer Brian Sicknick, is here. He reminds us, and I quote, "The simple act of not letting the events of that day be whitewashed, revised, or forgotten is more important than anyone can ever know." That statement by Mr. Sicknick rings true, painfully true today. This hearing examines a critical issue, political violence in America. I've said before over and over from this podium and will repeat, violence is not acceptable whatever the source or origin. I do not believe that one party owns the right to say it's the other party's fault. It is the fault of both parties in differing degrees, and it's our fault if we try to whitewash that reality. To seriously address this problem, we must be honest. We must start with the facts, not with partisan conclusions. To claim, as the chairman of the subcommittee has, and I quote, "Political violence comes predominantly from one side of the aisle, and don't give me this both sides BS," is not supported by the facts. In fact, those facts tell a different story. For more than a decade, data from the FBI, DHS, and nonpartisan experts show that far-right extremists have been responsible for most domestic terrorism, including most deaths by far. On this chart, which you can see behind me, from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, also known as CSIS, terrorist attacks from the right are in red and attacks from the left are in blue. CSIS found that since 2016, 112 people have been killed as a result of right-wing attacks, while 3 have died as a result of left-wing attacks. These are not partisan talking points. They are the facts established by federal law enforcement and national security experts across numerous administrations, both Democratic and Republican. Indeed, one of today's majority witnesses, Mr. Chad Wolf, in his confirmation hearing before Congress, as acting DHS Secretary during President Trump's first term, testified, and I quote, "White supremacist extremists, from a lethality standpoint over the last 2 years, are certainly the most persistent and lethal threat when we talk about domestic violent extremists." Far-right extremists were responsible for the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. I lived through it. And they've been responsible for a string of hate-fueled massacres targeting ethnic and religious minority communities, including the 2012 Gurdwara shooting in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, targeting Sikh Americans, killing 7. The 2015 Mother Emanuel AME Church shooting in Charleston, targeting Black Americans, killing 9. The 2018 Tree of Life Synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh, targeting Jewish Americans, killing 11. The 2019 Walmart shooting in El Paso, targeting Latino Americans, killing 22. And the 2022 Tops Supermarket shooting in Buffalo, targeting Black Americans, killing 10. Political violence has continued to rock the nation in recent months, from the assassination of Mr. Kirk to the assassinations of Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hartman and her husband, and the attempted assassination of Minnesota State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Just last week, a man was arrested after allegedly offering $45,000 for the killing of Attorney General Pam Bondi, and a January 6 rioter who was pardoned by President Trump, full and unconditional pardon, was arrested for allegedly threatening to kill the House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no room for political violence in America, ever, ever, not from the right or from the left. I'm deeply concerned by the Trump administration's response to the political violence crisis. On the one hand, the administration is threatening a crackdown on constitutionally protected speech based on false claims that, in the words of Stephen Miller, there is, quote, a vast domestic terror movement on the left. At the same time, the administration is gutting programs that have proven effective in combating domestic terrorism. For example, the administration has slashed the budget of DHS, the Center for Prevention Programs and Partnerships, by more than 30%, cut the center staff by 80 employees to fewer than 20, and appointed a 22-year-old Trump campaign official to run the center. We honor our Constitution and serve our country not by rewriting history or weaponizing tragedy, but by telling the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, because democracy cannot survive selective outrage or deliberate amnesia. To the officers and families here today and watching at home, we will never forget January 6. Our duty is to protect the truth, to defend the rule of law, and to be an American that rejects violence in every form. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.